Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we have some long overdue but most exciting and excellent news. Because finally, after keeping us waiting for years, Wargaming is finally deciding to go ahead and release a new map for World of Warships, which is massive. It's been years since we've gotten a new map, and you guys get to pick out the design of the map. That's excellent, in my humble opinion. So we're going to talk about all that and more in today's video. But first, maps. What's been going on with maps? If you look at the history, or I should say the recent history of the game with regards to maps, it's been a little dry, shall we say. In the past 4 years, we've gotten exactly 2 new maps. The first one was the Seychelles map. I'm sorry, actually the first one I believe was the Faroe Islands map, and then the second one was the Seychelles map. The Seychelles map was released all the way back in 2022, with the Faroe Islands being released all the way back in 2021. So it's been more than a few years since we've gotten, some new maps in the game, which there's a whole rigmarole about, why that's a thing. Originally, the theory was that, well, no, they had to create all the underwater worlds for the submarines when they introduced submarines all those years ago, so that kind of bogged down the map development team. And then, well, after that was done, we got the Seychelles map. But then, of course, after the Seychelles map was released, well, got thrown a curveball with the Russian-Ukraine war and the Wargaming Lesta split. So, naturally, with Lesta being the main developer of World of Warships for all those years, of course, Wargaming wasn't able to take the entirety of the staff with them. And it seems that, Lesta got most of the art and 3D design guys over there. And that's kind of been the bogging down point with not only new maps, but new 3D models and such in-game for, new ships. Now, like we talked about, oddly enough, literally, 4 or 5 videos ago, Wargaming has been slowly hiring back and trying to build back up the World of Warships art team. And, well, it looks like they've gotten enough 3D artists and artists in general to begin development on a new map. And we've seen signs of that in-game with, the Seal coming out, the Tier 10 British submarine. That was an entirely new model. Then we got the hull with the new American 203mm destroyer turret. That's a complete new 3D model as well. And then now with the upcoming U.S. destroyer line split, we are getting not only new turret models for those guns, but also new hull models for the Tier 9 and the Tier 10 destroyers of that line split. So it seems like they've gotten, enough of an art team built up now to where they can start pumping out things like new map. So that is most excellent indeed. So now let's talk about this new map. So the article that I will be reading from and going over will be linked in the description down below. It's also the same article where you will be voting for the new map. So let's go ahead and check it out. So, article is titled "New Map, Help Us Pick the Theme." It's been a long time coming, Captains. Aye, it has. A brand new map is finally set to splash down into our game in the not too distant future. And now, as our development team toils away at crafting the shape and size of our game's newest arena, we think it's high time we choose a visual theme to go along with it. But for such an important decision that will set the tone for countless battles in the future, we want you, our community, to weigh in. Below you'll find 3 different biomes we thought would fit the design quite snugly, as well as 3 different times of day. Let us know which ones you prefer by voting on each individual one. Now you do have to be logged in order to vote in this poll, I guess you could say. So make sure you are logged in when you visit Wargaming's website. Alright, first biome up. I apologize if I absolutely murder this. The Socotra Archipelago. Surreal limestone plateaus pockmarked with otherworldly dragon blood trees. Steep coastal cliffs that drop down into rocky shores and bright narrow beaches. The palette is warm and alien, sandy beiges, crimson vegetation, vivid greens, and clear azure waters. This place is quite beautiful. Oh my god, that beach looks amazing. I just came back from Hawaii as well. This is pretty neat. Yeah, that's beautiful. That water is beautiful as well. I love that light blue in the beaches there. Okay, that's the first option for our biome. The second option is the Torres Strait. Vast stretches of intense blue waters, scattered islands, and tropical scenery. Traces of the Torres Strait Islanders scattered throughout remote landscapes remind us of the region's cultural diversity and unique ecology. Ooh, I love these islands. These, I don't know what you call these islands that stick up out the water with that limestone. That is beautiful. Man, I haven't taught geography in like a year or two, but I used to remember what those are called. But yeah, that looks nice. I really like the Torres Strait one so far. All right, and then Reunion. I guess this means Reunion Island. This isn't where they found that piece of the plane that went missing, the MH370. Anyway, inspired by the eastern volcanic region of Reunion Island, this concept's verdant hills, white waterfalls, and muddy rivers, beautiful beaches, and clear seas contrast with its red-hot volcanoes and charred ashen wastelands. A multitude of exotic fauna inhabits the majestic landscape. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Looks like freaking Mordor. All right. So those are the three biomes we can choose from. Me myself, I'm voting for Torres Strait, giving that a 5 out of 5 there in the voting poll. And then not only do we get to choose the biome, we also get to choose the time of day. We can choose dawn. I guess they just give us a couple of screenshots here to give us an idea of the lighting. Day, which is day or dusk. I'm going with dusk because I think it's high time they start introducing night battles into the game. But yeah, this also looks just really pretty. Okay, so that's what we can choose so far for the new map. Myself, I went for Torres Strait and Dusk because this would be really pretty with like the sun setting. But like Wargaming too, you can have dynamic times of day. Well, not necessarily dynamic times of day, but there's several maps in game already where you can have different times of day with different lighting and stuff. Like Two Brothers, you can have a day match, and you can also have a dusk match. The dusk match with the lighting on Two Brothers looks absolutely stunning. In my mind, it's worth noting that right now we're only getting to pick the theme of the map, I guess you could say. For everything else, where the cap's going to be, the physical layout of the map. They don't mention if we'll get to vote or not on that. But hopefully we will. I believe with the Faroe Islands, we did get to vote on like the general layout of the islands and such. So that would be nice to see that come down in the future too as well. So this is a great sign in my opinion. Like we talked about, we're slowly getting new 3D models in the game, and now they're working on a new map. So hopefully, they've gotten enough staff on at the new dev studio in Belgrade to where we'll be able to start getting a more regular occurrence of these maps. Now, they did say back in the Waterline video and the Waterline article at the beginning of the year that they were going to introduce a new map. They said late 2025 or early 2026. So it's looking like, since we're still here in the first half of 2025, this is probably going to be a late 2025 map. Hopefully, this will be the start of a more steady stream of maps. They were originally supposed to do this back with, I believe, after the Faroe Islands or the Seychelles, whichever one came out more recently. But of course, again, with the Russian-Ukraine thing happening and the Wargaming List to split, threw a monkey wrench in that. So hopefully now that they've got the art team built up, or at least to the point where they can start having a individual team work on maps, we'll start to see a more steady stream of maps coming. I don't think anyone would really expect more than like one or two a year. It's completely understandable that you have to take your time and develop these maps. You don't want to just, pump out a bunch of maps willy-nilly. You got to make sure everything's balanced in terms of, island placements and cap placements and things like that. So they're things that really can't be rushed, but I think, one or two a year is something that's most reasonable to expect from Wargaming when it comes to new maps and Warships, especially with all the money that gets spent on this game by whales and such. One would think they should be able to produce enough free assets like that to keep that coming at a more regular basis. So this is a good sign, in my opinion. I'm very glad that Wargaming is finally getting around to introducing some new map to the game. Hopefully, again, this will be the first of many going forward. Make sure you check out the link down below and you go vote in the poll so you can have your voice be heard with the theme of the map. Again, hopefully we might be presented with some options for like the map layout and such. But I'm looking forward to seeing this new map and hearing more about it as time goes on. Also, you have until the 28th to vote in the poll for the new map, so make sure you do so before that's the end of this week, beginning of next week. Yeah, you have till next Monday to vote in the poll, so make sure you do so. So guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about the new map. What are your feelings on it? Which ones did you vote for? I did not mean to sway anybody. I just think the Torres Strait, the concepts in the islands and the water there looks really cool, and I would like to see some night maps in the future. I think that would be a really cool thing for them to bring in. They tried that with cherry blossoms with the operation, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, I'd like to see more of that in the future. But anyway, guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and all of that jazz. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.